You could pick any player in history to come off the bench in their peak to win you a game with 10 minutes to go, and you only had one substitution left. Who would it be? And I thought it would be Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's why I never like the individual man-to-man against Messi. Messi is a cage. You have to create a cage. I would say Barca without Messi, I would say Liverpool favourite.
Right.
But Barca with Messi, Messi is Messi.
For almost 20 years, football fans argued the same question. Ronaldo or Messi?
When it comes down to the pure conversation, for me it's always been Messi. It always will be Messi.
I do think Ronaldo's the GOAT. You know, he's my inspiration. Ronaldo played in the Premier League, La Liga, and Italia. Messi played in one league.
We compared goals, trophies, Ballon d'Ors. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That debate was never really about numbers, because if stats decided greatness, the answer would have been clear years ago. And yet, it never was. The real difference between Ronaldo and Messi isn't what they won. It's how the game changed around them, and how each one changed it back. One dominated systems built for him, the other became the system. And once you look at their careers through that lens, context, impact, and adaptability, the debate doesn't stay open anymore. By the end of this video, you won't just have an opinion, you'll have an answer.
That one. Is the Messi-Ronaldo debate finally settled? Is it done?
It was never a debate.
It was always a debate.
It was never
always a debate.
Ronaldo was nowhere near the level of Messi. Ronaldo is one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Messi is the greatest player of all time. It's not even close.
The world is told that the greatest rivalry in sports history is a matter of opinion. We are told that statistics are the ultimate judge, yet the more numbers we accumulate, the more the truth seems to slip through our fingers. By the end of 2025, a strange contradiction has emerged. Cristiano Ronaldo has more goals than any human in history, yet Lionel Messi has more trophies than any player to ever walk the earth. The authority of the 2025 season has provided the final, cold evidence. In June, a 40-year-old Ronaldo stood on a podium in Munich, tears streaming down his face, after leading Portugal to a third international title in the Nations League. Months later, a 38-year-old Messi lifted the MLS Golden Boot in Florida, having turned the American League into a personal playground of geometry and grace. But beneath the surface of these triumphs lies a curiosity that most fans have missed. The debate is not over because one man finally proved he was better. It is over because the two men have stopped competing with each other and started competing with time itself. This is the autopsy of a 20-year war, the moment the noise finally dies and the silence of greatness takes over. As 2025 draws to a close, the geography of football has been fundamentally remapped. The centre of the sport no longer resides in the traditional cathedrals of Madrid or Barcelona. Instead, it is split between two distant frontiers. In the Saudi Pro League, Cristiano Ronaldo has transformed himself into a biological fortress. At 40 years of age, his presence is an exercise in pure, unadulterated will. The 2025 season saw him surpass 950 official career goals, a number so high it feels like a statistical error. He does not just play, he colonises the penalty area. His movement is no longer about the lightning step-overs of his Manchester youth. It is about the box crasher philosophy, a tactical evolution where every sprint is calculated to maximise the probability of a one-touch finish. Across the Atlantic, Lionel Messi has turned Inter Miami into a laboratory of spatial distortion. He does not run, he walks. But his walk is the most dangerous movement in the game. In 2025, Messi recorded 48 goal contributions in just 28 matches, claiming the MLS Golden Boot with 29 goals. He has evolved into a deep-lying architect, a player who uses the gravity of his reputation to pull entire defensive lines out of shape. When Messi enters the final third, the physics of the match change. Time slows down. The parallel is clear. Ronaldo is chasing 1,000 goals to prove that the human body can be mastered by the mind. Messi is collecting his 48th trophy to prove that the game of football can be mastered by instinct. They are no longer shadows of their former selves. They are the final, distilled versions of two different philosophies of greatness.
I don't understand why a Ballon d'Or defines a player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why. Like, in today's game, I don't think trophies define a player. You know what I'm saying? It's what they do on the field.
If there ever was someone who should have a chip on his shoulder, it should be Messi, probably the most famous person in the world who's done it all, and yet he really walks around as though he's nobody.
To understand why the debate is over, one must look at the tactical metamorphosis of these two icons, Cristiano Ronaldo, the apex predator. By 2008, Ronaldo realised that style does not win wars. Impact does. He transformed into the most efficient goal-scoring factory in history. He moved from the touchline to the box, evolving into the ultimate 9. The Ronaldo of 2025 is the result of the most disciplined physical transformation in history. In his prime at Real Madrid, he was a wide forward who specialised in high-velocity transitions. Today, he is the ultimate 9. His 110 goals for Al Nassr by late 2025 are a testament to his positioning. He has mastered the art of blindside runs, moving into the defender's shadow the moment the cross is delivered. His aerial reach, even at 40, remains a statistical anomaly, allowing him to dominate a vertical space that most defenders cannot occupy. He is a machine of efficiency, designed to convert the smallest margin of error into a scoreboard update. The physicality. He turned his body into a laboratory. In 2025, at 40, his leap still reaches heights that anchor other men to the grass. The efficiency. He became the only player to score 100-plus goals for 4 different clubs. By late 2025, his career total sits at 954 official goals. It is a number that feels like a glitch in reality. He is the master of the terminal touch, the one player you never want the ball to fall to in the 90th minute. Lionel Messi, the gravity well. Messi took a different path. He began as a speedster, but as his pace slowed, his brain accelerated. He evolved into a playmaker who could see a pass 3 moves before it existed. Messi's 2025 campaign is a masterclass in economical brilliance. While Ronaldo seeks the ball seeks Messi. His role at Inter Miami and for the Argentina national team is that of a global playmaker. He operates in the half spaces, those pockets of grass between the midfield and defence, where he can turn and face the goal. His vision has only sharpened as his pace has declined. By the end of 2025, a feat that arguably makes him the greatest creator the sport has ever seen, alongside being its most prolific natural finisher. The vision. He uses the gravity of his presence to pull defensive lines apart. He does not need to beat a defender with a dribble. He beats them with a 5-yard pass that removes 4 players from the game. The output. By late 2025, he has recorded over 400 career assists. He is not just a finisher, he is the creator of the environment in which goals are possible. He has won 48 official trophies, more than any player in history. Ronaldo is what a human can achieve through absolute perfection of effort. The machine produces output. Messi is what a human can achieve through absolute perfection of instinct. The magician produces outcomes. Both are essential, but they serve different.
Ronaldo is a fantastic football player. He's achieved amazing things. I will never doubt or discredit what Ronaldo's achieved as a football player. And he's still achieving so much. He's still scoring goals. He's still breaking records. But we all have our opinion. You can ask somebody out there, they'll say Cristiano Ronaldo. That's his opinion. My opinion is that Messi is the greatest football player that has ever lived.
The reason these two men reached such heights in 2025 lies in the scars they carried from childhood. Greatness is often a response to a perceived deficit. For Cristiano Ronaldo, the deficit was poverty and isolation. On the island of Madeira, he was a boy who felt the world was too small for his ambition. When he moved to Lisbon at 12, he was mocked for his accent and his skinniness. At 15, a racing heartbeat threatened to end the dream before it began. He had surgery. He survived. He decided that if the world was going to ignore a boy from a small island, He would make the world look at him until its eyes burned. This was the birth of the machine. He responded by building a literal and metaphorical armour. Every gym session, every extra hour on the training pitch, was a brick in a wall he built to protect himself from the world's indifference. His 2025 form is not about the money or the fame. It is about that boy in Madeira proving he can never be ignored. For Lionel Messi, the deficit was physical. The growth hormone deficiency that threatened his career as a child forced him to develop a different kind of strength. He had to be faster with his feet because he was smaller with his body. He had to see the game quicker because he couldn't outmuscle it. Barcelona's decision to sign him on a paper napkin was the gamble that changed history. He had to leave his country, his friends, and his identity to save his career. This was the birth of the magician. Messi's 2025 composure is the result of a lifetime spent playing against giants and winning through pure intelligence. Ronaldo fought the world. Messi fought his own body. These early battles forged the two most resilient minds in history. One became a machine of will, the other became a miracle of persistence. By the time they reached 2025, those origins had dictated their final forms. Ronaldo's longevity is a revenge story against his own mortality. Messi's consistency is a tribute to the gift he almost lost. The years between 2009 and 2018 were the most competitive era in team sports history. They shared a league, a rivalry, and a throne. This was the era where the debate became a religion. In 2012, Messi looked untouchable, with 91 goals in a single calendar year. But Ronaldo responded with an obsession that redefined the Champions League. He led Real Madrid to 4 titles in 5 years, becoming Mr. Champions League with 140 goals in the competition. They played 36 times head-to-head. The world stood still for those 90 minutes. Messi, 16 wins, 22 goals, 12 assists. Ronaldo, 11 wins, 21 goals, 1 assist. The gap between them and the rest of the world was not a distance, it was a canyon. Every time one scored a hat-trick, the other scored 4. They were like two boxers who refused to fall, pushing each other to heights no other player could even see. But while the world watched the goals, a deeper divide was forming. Ronaldo was winning the battle of the individual, while Messi was winning the battle of the collective. The final piece of the GOAT puzzle was always the international stage. For years, critics used their lack of international success as a weapon. Ronaldo broke the seal first in 2016, but his performance in the 2025 Nations League was his last dance. At 40, he captained Portugal through a grueling tournament, scoring in the quarter-final, the semi-final, and the 2-2 equaliser in the final against Spain before Portugal triumphed on penalties. It was a statement of longevity that silenced any remaining doubters. He became the first player to reach 143 international goals, a record that likely will not be broken in our lifetime. But for Messi, the international story had already reached its zenith in Qatar. By late 2025, his legacy with Argentina was no longer a debate, it was a monument. He followed the World Cup with another Copa America and continued to dominate the domestic scene in America. In December 2025, he led Inter Miami to their first MLS Cup, winning the Golden Boot with 29 goals. Messi, however, achieved the ultimate completion. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar was the moment the debate shifted for the masses. In that final, Messi did not just play, he authored a myth. By late 2025, with a record 48 trophies to his name, including 2 Copa Americas and the World Cup, Messi has nothing left to conquer. His exit from the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup with Inter Miami, where he faced his former club PSG, was played with a sense of gracious finality. He lost the match, but he won the stadium. 65,000 fans roared for every touch of the 38-year-old, recognising that they were watching a living museum of football history. Ronaldo has the longevity of the record. Messi has the weight of the silver. Ronaldo proved he could stay at the top longer than any human. Messi proved he could reach a height no other human could touch. The numbers in 2025 have reached a point of absurdity. Ronaldo, 954 goals in 1,296 games. Ratio, 0.74 per game, 5 Champions League titles, 5 Ballon d'Or, and the most international goals in history. He is the master of the peak, the player who reached the highest individual scoring levels ever recorded. Messi, 896 goals in 1,137 games. Ratio, 0.78 per game, 48 team trophies, 8 Ballon d'Or, and the most assists, 407, in history. He is the master of the impact, the player who most consistently influenced the outcome of a match through both scoring and creating. The debate used to be, who is better? In 2025, the question has changed to, what do you value? If you value the triumph of the human spirit over time, the relentless pursuit of perfection, and the ability to dominate any league in any country, then Ronaldo is your GOAT. He is the greatest athlete to ever play the game. If you value the beauty of the sport as an art form, the ability to make 10 other players better just by standing on the pitch, and the collection of the game's most prestigious silverware, then Messi is your GOAT. He is the greatest footballer to ever play the game. The GOAT debate is over because the arguments have run out of fuel. There are no more trophies to win that would change the narrative. There are no more goals to score that would make a doubter a believer. In late 2025, we are witnessing something more profound than a rivalry. We are witnessing the final sunset of an era that will never be repeated. For 20 years, these two men were the sun and the moon of our world. They pushed each other to heights that forced every other player to look up in awe. Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest athlete to ever play. He is the personification of will. He proved that through sweat, iron, and a refusal to accept no, a human can work on himself. Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer to ever play. He is the personification of art. He proved that the game is not just a sport, but a language of geometry and grace that speaks to the soul. The debate is over because we have finally realised that we don't need a winner. We were the winners. We were the generation that got to see the machine, and the miracle occupy the same space and time. As they prepare for the 2026 World Cup, likely their final act, the shouting has stopped. What remains is a profound sense of gratitude. The dust has settled, the scoreboard is full, the war is over. History has been written, but your perspective is what keeps the story alive. The numbers are final, but the feeling is personal. If you believe that Ronaldo's 954 goals and his relentless conquest of 3 different major leagues make him the undeniable GOAT, comment machine below. If you believe that Messi's 48 trophies and his 2022 World Cup triumph make him the only true king of football, comment magic below. Don't just leave your vote, tell us why. Was it a specific goal, a specific trophy, or the way they made you feel on a random Tuesday night in 2012? If you want to stay at the forefront of the game's greatest stories as we head into the 2026 World Cup, subscribe and hit the notification bell. We don't just report the stats, we analyse the legacy. The era of the two suns is ending. Don't let the moment pass without taking a side.